Brodes Media.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it truly is a crazy story. How Nick Castellanos in the ninth, after Rob Thomson doesn't utilize a defensive replacement, helps save the game. When I thought Matt Strom pissed it away. When I thought Matt Strom blew it. Nicky no shirt. Nicky untuck. Played with a purpose today, didn't he? I even think he did a damn good job backing up a play in this one. How about that? The details. The details. Except for, I guess, the base running. What are you going to do? What a crazy 24 hours. It was a big win. Right now they are set up to do what they needed to in Miami, which is at a minimum, take 3 of the 4 games. But let's talk about Rob. Let's talk about the importance of winning this game in particular. In the fashion that they did. This could benefit them. I was worried that it could go south. That things can go wrong. And if they beat Miami and then somehow collapse and get bent over by the Mets over the weekend, then all of this is for nothing. But as we sit here today, with the right fielder playing with piss and vinegar and showing up and balling out, and you can feel that when you were watching the game through the damn TV. He brought it today. There's 2 ways it can go when you have turmoil, when you challenge one another. No matter who's right, no matter who's wrong, the heat of the moment happened. Either someone like Nick goes, 0 for 4, 4 Ks, pouting whenever the camera shows him, or gets so fired up, he's ripping his clothes off in celebration. Team gets fuel from that. I think the guys love it, love the answer. They love it all. They look at it as Rob did the right thing, and Nick, you know what? He took the field pissed off, and he helped lead us emotionally, and we can grab onto that. It's there for the taking, especially not to look too far ahead, because a 2-2 series would make me very upset. So you must win tomorrow. But it's not as if the Mets are lighting the world on fire here. They're in free fall. So you can get a team rising and making a negative a positive. And when you're in the middle of that too, these are real raw emotions. This is more significant. Maybe not. I was going to say more significant than benching Alec Boehm, who was a starting third baseman in the All-Star game in the playoffs against the Mets in the NLDS. But it's right up there. It may not be that, but this is right up there. This is the regular season equivalent. So to force Rob Thomson to do that, and for Nick to do this, you are in the thick of the rawness of the emotions. If you have the right character, if you have the right mindset, if you have the right people in place, there is a way for that organically to turn into a good thing. I brought it up with AJ, with BG, with Jalen. Battle-tested group. This could end up being incredible. It could. I'm not telling you it will be. It could end up just fizzling out at some point, and they are who they are, a team that has a lot of concerns with the pen. I don't know why we're utilizing Matt Strom in the ninth. I prefer at this particular time to go to a Ryan Kerkering. He was great right before that. They didn't want to use Romano because they're going to need him tomorrow, I'm assuming. unless they just have a nice blowout and they could just waste some nobody. That would be nice. You probably should have put the Marlins away earlier. You had Bryce and Stott smack one deep. Ew! Ew! Stott! Ew! How badly did he need that? Wow. But that fourth inning or so, that was all she wrote. And in the seventh, you definitely had life. And you probably should have pounded them in the dirt where we didn't need to sweat it out as badly as we did. It was, what's the word? Protrusely sweating? That's not it. What? I have to say this. And I'm being serious, but I'm not. It's a joke. It's a joke. But when I first saw the motion of Nick ripping his shirt out of his pants up to his nipple, I thought, is he showing up the manager? I'm kidding. I'm not doing that. But that was my first thought. Then I heard Rob, and he had a smile from ear to ear, talking and glowing about how Nick answered all the controversy. And then I realized, nah, man, he really loved it. That was an actual real reaction from Topper. He loved it. I don't think he was putting on a front. There's a reason why he left him in that game. He wanted to see that happen. He was rooting for that. The worst case scenario would be it goes to right field and all these defensive metrics prove to be true and prove to say, hey, Nick's an embarrassing right fielder, and something goes down where it's woof. But that didn't happen. Topper wanted this. On a more serious note, though, I do think the decision now loses power. I gave Rob Thomson a ton of credit. I thought he did the right thing and responded to an inappropriate comment the way a manager should, regardless of what past history led him to do, regardless if he's known to be someone who allows the veterans to speak their mind and show how they feel and to have passion every day. He loves that side of it. There was clearly a disconnect with what Nick thought was acceptable, or maybe he knows it's not acceptable, but in the heat of the moment, he just let the best get to him. Whatever it is. If you're just going to not replace him defensively in the ninth the following night, then why break the streak? To me, it makes sense to do it if you are going to do it. That's the point. Is, yo, Nick, you got to realize this is how we are going to attack as a team to try and win. Now, I personally don't think his defense is as bad as the metrics say it is. And you're going to say it's the worst. There's no right fielder. I got it. I know the numbers. I see all these crazy numbers and 5.7 LY's WAR and 6.53 L FM 6s. And they're like, Nick stinks at baseball defense. I got you. He's not the best in the world. But I do think the numbers make it say that he's even worse than what he is, even though I know he's not phenomenal. If you are going to make defensive replacements throughout the July month, throughout the August month, throughout the playoffs, then this doesn't mean that much. This moment won't mean as much. This moment only means something if you are going to stick with Nick in right field all the time. And if that's not your plan, then I don't understand why you don't put Rojas in to double down on your decision to make a stand to Castellanos. It's not just about what you said. It's the fact that we are going to rely on a better defender in clutch moments with a lead late in the game to help us win. I am very disappointed. You absolutely disrespected me. But forget the disrespecting me for a second. from the baseball angle, this is how we're going to get it done. We got to improve the bullpen. We need to get more consistent hitting. And guys like Bohm are starting to almost be the Bohm of last year, which changes a lot of who this team is and their identity. Marsh is squaring the ball up better, for sure, over the last few games. And we need to make sure we are in the best spot we can be defensively, because as you know, it can get messy sometimes. So we need to limit that by putting out our best defenders. That's why you did it, right? Unless it wasn't. But if it wasn't, then why'd you do it? Because then Nick wins. And then you snap the streak for nothing. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of how my mind works with it. I'm a little confused. And now it's going to take me a bit longer to figure out what it actually means. I guess it's a blessing and a curse. It's the late stages of June. Give me storylines, please. But at the same time, I'd rather not have to deal with this. This is the type of stuff I don't love. I want to focus on baseball.